And I'm with my co-host, David Sanchez, and we were meant to be. If you guys are new to the room, welcome. We are here to talk about Dispute Panda, the world's most famous, effective, and efficient AI-powered credit repair pay-as-you-go software. Now, normally when we start, I like to give everyone about a good 10 minutes because I want everyone to be able to come into the room, have some time to dip and do. So with that being said, I love to know who I'm speaking to. So that way, if I need to say different languages, because we're all on different spaces, I have the ability to do that effectively. Lord Egypt then came into the room. Hey, girl. It's my friend Loyalty Tax. I love me some her. Hey, friend.
Hey, girl, hey.
So we are going to get started on today. Now, to begin, the way that we normally start off is by finding out where everyone is. So in the group, in the chat, if you can drop a 1, if you are brand new to Dispute Panda, which means you don't even have the platform yet. You're coming in here because you want to know what's going on with the going on, okay? Let's drop a 1. Drop a 2 in the chat. If you have the platform, drop a 3 in the trap. Lord. We are not in. Let me drink some water. Hold on. That's it. We trapping. Okay, we just gonna trap some credit. Okay, that's what we gonna do. We moving that. We moving that work when it comes to credit. Drop a 3 in the chat if you have the platform, you have used the platform, and you're just here to get a refresher and figure out what's going on. My girl Loyalty Tax is always amazing. Hey, mom. Thanks for driving her around, mom. Hey. My girl is always out here dragging my mother around with her, dragging my mother.
I was trying not to log on until I walked in the house because I knew you was going to say that, but I'm home now. We are in Egypt, honey.
She made it past the Nile, y'all. She made it past the Nile. Look at, won't he do?
Walking straight into the pyramid.
If y'all don't know, I like to have fun. So we are going to make sure, because training can always be boring. We don't need another boring training class, okay? We need some libation, some good up, right? So if you guys can drop a 1 in the chat if you are brand new, no system, no nothing. Drop a 2 in the chat if you have the system. Drop a 3 in the chat if you have the system and have used it. We are going to start right around 8:10, unless you guys got good questions for me, then we might go a little bit longer because I like to answer all the questions. Okay, honey? So if you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can come off of mute. You can type it in the chat. Whatever is more feasible for you guys. Welcome, David. Welcome. I think that's Chelsea. I think that's Katrina. Hey, Connie. Connie seems to be loading.
Yeah, that's me. Hey, I have to change my name.
Hey, boo.
How everybody doing? I'm still a number 2, y'all. I got the software but never used it. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I'm here.
You waiting for me to pull up to the club? It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry. We gonna make it happen. So if anyone has any questions before we get started, definitely it's an open floor for you guys to ask that. I like to know where you guys want to start. Hello, I'm new to Panda Pro, but I can't get into the pro community. Excuse me. So the pro community is at capacity. Club Panda is full. Okay. So we are actually transitioning from that community to a new warehouse. Okay, is what I like to call it. Once it goes live, I will come in here and let you guys know. If you want to shoot me an email message, what I will do is make sure, like, if you're not here in the live, we gonna get you a VIP friend. I promise you. I got you. I got you. Shoot me an email. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in the chat real quick. RACQUEL. And just send me a quick message that says, hey, I need interest in the community as the tagline. As soon as the new one goes live, y'all, I will make sure to email anyone who sends me that message with where we're going to. But yeah, we hit capacity. The marshals came and said, no, ma'am, you at capacity. So yeah, so Dominique and them is, I need my hair tall because I'm short. Okay, y'all, just work with me. So Dominique and everyone is actually moving us off of that platform into a new one because we have hit capacity. So for all of you guys that are there, you may be able to see the platform, but from my understanding, you can't click in and comment. They are aware of the issue because wonderful Loyalty Tax told us to let us know what was going on. And then we had a couple of people that came in after her that was having that same issue. So just hang tight. I promise you we will get you loaded, but send me an email so that once it goes live, I can personally send you a message for you to get in. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay, brand new, looking for information, want to understand the software, how to get started with credit repair. So Chelsea, are you a 1, meaning you do not have the platform, or are you a 2, you do have the platform, you just haven't used it? You are a 1. Cool, 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 cool. Cool. So we are going to start, since we have some ones in the building, okay? We are going to get started with actually start signing up with the account. We're going to go through the full layout today. So if you guys have questions, you have a few more minutes to go ahead and ask the questions. Ask the questions before we dive in. Hang on 1 second, guys. All right, all right. No other questions. I love newbies. Thank you for coming in, Chelsea. Since you are new and you're getting the software, are you brand new to the credit repair business altogether? I think you said how to get started in credit repair business. Okay, brand new altogether. Oh, I love that. Okay. So for transparency, I like to keep it all the way 1,000 trillion, or as my auntie say, I like to shoot from the hip. Y'all, I didn't know what that meant. Yeah, but now I do. So with that being said, on today's class, we are going to cover the platform. We're going to go through all of the settings. We're going to cover pricing. We're going to cover integration. We are going to cover some of the features that are with Pro versus the free plan, right? We are going to go over all the stuff that trading offers. We are going to sign up for the platform and we're going to load our first client in. I'm going to show you what you're going to do for round 1. And I am personally going to process the client with a free dispute round. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it without having to pay for your $17 for the dispute. So one of the things that I love about Dispute Panda is it is a pay-as-you-go service, which for people that are brand new and trying to get clientele, I'm going to show you guys how you can start in the black and not in the red when it comes to the business. And I'm going to be dropping some gems on how you can make sure that you get some nice drip money as you're going through the process. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. We got a few more seconds, minutes to go through. My 6-year-old is loud, y'all. I don't know if y'all can hear him, but he is loud. Okay.
Yeah, can I ask? This is David. How you doing?
Hey, David, how can I help?
How you doing? Hey,
Good.
just wanted to know when you do make the transition over. One of the things I want to know is just the pricing and stuff, because I'm just comparing that. You went over it before. I just want to hear it again because I'm about to do it probably today, because I have clients I want to integrate over from my system. And the question was, if when we do transition over, how does that weigh as far when you do the mail? And I noticed the teams in the different mails. Is it like, who's mailing it off? Because it looks like a team of people, or is that a business that's contracting when you're actually the mail. You know, it tells you to pick between a two, and I noticed that when you went through it one time, as far as the mail goes, who do you let mail it for you? I know it's a third party mailing.
No, we mail out in-house now.
Oh, in-house.
Mm-hmm.
So the software. Okay.
So yeah,
I guess
the
you
mail is in-house. So I want you were breaking up a little bit, so I want to make sure that I heard the full question so I can answer it. Were you specifically asking about the mail only, or what was your question before that? Because I want to make sure I answered it properly.
the pricing, what is that range in? That's all. Because you
The
don't
mail,
have to.
so the mail pricing, I wouldn't be able to tell you because again, it's going to be depending on how many letters need to go out for your client. So that's what's going to dictate the pricing, right? You can see what the rate is like once I load the client in, or I can actually, yeah, once I load the client in, I can show you what the options are there, but the rate is kind of coded per page. Again, there's a different pricing if you're sending it out certified mail versus regular mail, and then you pay more if it's over a certain amount of pages. But as far as who is mailing it out for you, Dispute Panda, we mail out in-house. So David is actually over the team that handles the mailing. So it's not a third-party company anymore that's doing it. We are actually mailing it out for you. Hey, David. Okay. But as far as the pricing point, it's going to be subject to what your client's letters are. Because remember, if there is 10 pages or 11 pages, right? That's all going to, or if there's 4 letters that have to go out versus 2 for another client, there's not a way for us to say it's a cap. Like some people, like I have clients where some of them is $20 a month. I have another client where they were $57 for regular mail, but there were a total of 4 letters for Experian, 4 letters, about 11 to 12 pages each letter, right? So, but it was like 4, 7, 8. There was a bunch of letters that went out for that one particular client. So it's not something that I can say, okay, well, for 5 letters, it's only going to cost you $20.
I didn't need it exact. I didn't need
Yeah.
it exact. I just wanted a range and stuff. You kind of like gave the range. That's all.
Yeah, but when we go
uh,
in, you can definitely see what the numbers are, and I think the client that my test client has low, like they have very low things, so you'll be able to see it like on the low end. I want to say this test client has like 17 negative accounts. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And does
So
that
we'll do
include
that.
like late payments or stuff like that, or is it just charged off accounts?
No, she has late payments, she has charge offs, she has collections, and she has inquiries.
Okay. Now, do you sometimes do a combination of factual disputing as a and the method too?
I
Okay.
do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it
Okay.
depends on what the response comes back from the creditor, right? So if a certain response comes back from the creditor, I do personal letters depending on what the situation is. But if you are, so for those of you guys that are brand new to the room, the system does factual and Metro 2 letters. So you have, and if you want to use consumer law, and if you want to have your own letters, if you are a seasoned person, you can load your own letters into the system, and I will show you how to do that as well on today. So the system is very user friendly, and it can grow with you as you are glowing and growing, so to speak, right? So yeah, I personally, for my clients, I do still have some factual letters. There's some letters that I personally use that is just the coding from the code, 15 US code. I'll grab some of those codes and just create some free-form letters depending on the verbiage of what the reply comes back in from that collector. So that is something that I do as well. Great question.
Okay. So then that's the static, as far as static letters, it's star letters, right? I mean, somebody was saying that.
Nope. So my
Yeah.
factual letters are separate. I have my own letters that I use. I do put it in, my letters are in the software as well, and they're saved in the template. Static letters are letters that can go to the credit bureaus, the creditors as well. as well as they call it the secondary agencies, but there are other credit reporting agencies such as LexisNexis and Novus, LCI. Those companies are listed there as well. So we can go over the static letters as well, so you can have an understanding of what those are. But if you're looking to write factual letters, you can, if you have your own factual letter template that has been, successful for you in the past. Like I have specific late payment letters that I have used in the past that gives me like an 87% removal rate so far on my tracking. So I sometimes, if the system is going through and I'm like, okay, that's not necessarily working for me, or I'm in round 3 with this client and I know that in round 4 my letter has worked, I will pick my letter from the template that I've stored for that particular creditor. And you're able to do that. So with you being in the industry before, if you have letters that have worked, you can upload those letters into the system. Okay. Any other questions, my love?
Good.
This mic is acting crazy. Okay. All right. So any other questions for anyone else in the room? If not, we're about to get started. I give y'all 6 extra minutes, okay? 6 extra minutes to ask all the questions.
One more. So I just had a client just send me, I got him to notarize a letter, a Gerard notary, just stating that he was the one making this declaration. So I can upload that to the system as well.
You definitely can, but okay, so let me clarify. You're saying that the client signed a POA?
It's pretty much that, yeah. A notary.
So you would need to upload the POA to the system because the system is the letters that I'm talking about you're uploading would be universal for everyone. That POA is only specific for that one client. So I wouldn't necessarily say to upload that POA in there. Now, in my contract, I do have a contract that has a POA in it. And what I do is I print off that POA and I send it with all my dispute letters that are going out with to the actual credit reporting agency. So I wouldn't upload that into the system because that's not a letter that's universal. That was just for Raquel, right? So like I signed your POA for you to dispute my profile.
Okay,
Great
so you
question.
can make that for your company. You can make that for your company like you did. Okay, got you.
Yeah, and that way when they sign the contract, they can sign that POA as well to give you breathing space. I love it. Can I get those letters from you? And do you still have a mentorship? I do still have a mentorship. I will drop the link in the chat if you guys want to sign up. I'm actually going to be going live this weekend because I have an event Thursday and Friday. So all of my claims I'm going to be working on the weekend. Oh, POA. Sorry, Chelsea. Let me tell you, POA is a power of attorney. A lot of times when people are getting stall letters, and what stall letters are when you're going through credit repair, let me just kind of give that before we jump into the pricing and stuff. When you are going through credit repair, what happens a lot of times is you'll send the letter off, whether you're sending it for yourself or you're sending it for someone else, you'll send it off. And what will end up happening is you'll get this letter back that says, oh, we think that you're using a third-party service. We don't know that this is you. So we're not going to dispute. The law states that when you are putting a dispute, the credit reporting agencies are required to process your disputes. It doesn't matter if it's a first party, a third party, or a 13th party, honey. They're supposed to process the dispute for you. So what ends up happening is sometimes you will get the stallation is what I call it. It's called a stall letter. And it will just say, hey, I don't think this is you. We don't think it's you. Please verify. Or it'll say, we don't think it's you. We didn't do anything. Okay. So when that happens, there is a letter that's under the static, and I'll show you when we get into the system because there are different sections for our letters. But in there's a stall letter that specifically has the 15 code verbiage on it that says legally by law, here's the code that says you have to work this dispute, whether it's a first party or a second party. And there's no requirements that says that I have to show you proof that I have education or certification to do credit repair, right? To fix my own or dispute my own file. So what another workaround instead of using a stall letter is for you to have a power of attorney. It's a limited power of attorney that basically says, I'm working on behalf of David to dispute his profile. This is my company information. Here is a signed power of attorney that says that you can respond to me from David specifically. So it would say Evolving Eve or whatever your company is, right? Financial Freedom. I'm going to say this real quick, y'all. In y'all business name, you don't need LLC. Do not put credit. The reason why I'm telling you not to put credit is because a lot of merchant services and banks look at us like the strip club, okay? We're unreliable, like the casino. You do not want to have to worry about fighting to get a merchant service account, number one. So that's why you want to keep credit repair, any of that stuff out of your name if at all possible. You can do Score Boost, right? You can do Score Evolved. I personally like to stay away from Score credit altogether. I like consulting. I like financial services. Um, Educated numbers. I don't know. Try anything but Score and credit, because that is a red flag for the banks, and they look at us as risky business, because there are people that have been out in these streets talking about, pay me $5,000 and I'll fix your credit, and they don't do nothing. Okay. So we want to make sure that you are fundable, number one, for your business. Number two, that you can get a reliable merchant service account and you're already in a sticky business, because the truth is we are helping people that made bad financial decisions. Some of them, it's not because they didn't pay, they just knowingly said, forget everybody, I'm not going to pay. Some of them really just had a situation where financially they were not able to sustain. Life could have lifed, right? Or they're just not good with managing their money. And now you're coming here offering that piece. So the power of attorney gives you the ability to work that client's file with a little bit more enthusiasm. Personally, I feel like the credit reporting agencies respond back to me with more urgency because I include a power of attorney. It is not necessary. It just has been helpful to me. Another helpful tip that some people have used as well is getting notarizing the documents. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a notary. If my notary stamp is available, I'll stamp, but that's not something, because I've been on calls where people have said, I notarized all my documents and I still got a stall letter. Yeah, because they don't care. Okay. So there's just different tactics, and you have to understand that the credit reporting agencies, they do not necessarily want to do the work, right? So you're challenging them on, prove where you got the information, prove that the information that you're posting on here is valid, or remove it or correct it, right? Depending on which one you need for your particular client. So great conversations. Any other questions? It's 8:23 and I want to make sure that y'all are getting the best of me. Okay, honey? Giving you the best to have. No other questions? All right now. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Oh, what questions you got? Is it Juan? What questions do you have, my love?
Yeah, just got off of that thing. All right, so I did my first round already. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. So I've been fighting for a while for this credit, but I just like as you go along, you learn more. And I restarted the process, so I'm on the first round again. And I pretty much told them to fix my personal information. I'm sending everything as far as like the first round. Now I'm on the wait process. Equifax did send a stall letter, and then I sent them. I went into
The static. Mm-hmm.
the static, and then I sent them the stall letter back. So my question now is that should I go into my credit report and start marking up my stuff now?
When you say marking up your stuff, are you saying printing out your credit report and highlighting the errors?
Yes.
You can do that. I normally don't do that until I'm about to do a CFPB complaint.
I think I'm at that point already because
So let me ask a
okay.
question. You said you started over. Why did you
Yeah.
start over?
I started over because I wasn't getting no progress, and then when I first started, I didn't know what I was really doing, and I started very aggressively, and I did the CFPB and all that stuff, so I didn't really get nowhere. But as I was going through, like, because I started saving everything, now, and then I started doing the notary and stuff like that, because now I'm in the process where I'm just gonna sue them, but I want to do the procedure the right way. So I'm on the first round. That's why I say I'm in the first round, telling them, "Hey, look, this stuff is inaccurate." From what I found, downloading the annual credit report, I got on Equifax, I got them pretty hard because they reinserted a late payment. So I got the proof where they took it off, but I don't got. I'm trying to find the dispute where I told them to take it off. I couldn't find that,
You
but I
don't
do
need the
got.
dispute. You don't need the
Oh,
dispute where you told them to take it off. What you need is the proof of where it was
they took.
removed, and then
Okay.
if it was re-added, all you need to do is go to the static letters and click on the reinsert letter and send it to that
Right.
credit reporting agency. So hold on, back up. So several things that you're talking about, and I sorry guys, I know that we're all in different spaces, so for those of you guys that are newer, please pause right here. It might get you a little confused, but I promise we'll bring it full circle as you guys learn, right? So number one, if you're doing litigation, you really only need to dispute one time within a 12-month period in order for you to go into the litigation portion. My litigation person works my file after my first round of disputes that I send out. So if you're doing the litigation route, you don't necessarily need to go into multiple disputing rounds if it's actually wrong information, right?
Right.
If it's inaccurate. So I want to make sure that I'm having a clear conversation for everyone that's in the room. When we are doing credit repair, we are stating that if this information is not correct, so I want to make sure that I'm being completely transparent. I'm not saying I don't owe the debt. I'm saying in order for you to report the debt, the law says that all these things have to be reported accurately. If they are not being reported accurately and there are errors on that report, I'm going to leverage the law to remove that information, right? So there are different methods, or as my mom would say, you can skin a cat several ways, right? If you are doing, from what I'm hearing, you're doing several things. You're talking about,
Yeah.
you've already done a CFPB. Then you said you're wanting to highlight, you're going to go to litigation. So there's a bunch of moving pieces.
Right.
What you would have to do is, what are you going to tangibly do first? What are you going to allow to run through, and then go ahead and start with the next process? Because doing all of these things at once is going to look as though it's frivolous disputing and you're not going to get any movement. So when you said to me I had already done things and I did a CFPB complaint and I still didn't see any results, we now need to go back to looking at the report and finding out, are there errors that require these things to be removed? If they're not errors, then the next option is for us to talk about settlement options and negotiations that I can say, let's start negotiating at this portion. And in that negotiation process, requesting to get the debt removed, because there's nothing in the law that says the debt has to stay there once you have gone through settlement. So if you're telling me you've done disputing, I don't know how many rounds you've done, but you're saying you've done rounds, you've
That
done
was last year. Yeah, that was last year, but that's when I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I got more information, and then I started like really looking at the laws,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing like when they reinserted, and they had 5 days to notice me. They didn't even notice me. They didn't give me a notice. So that right there, I could sue them on that right away, right off the
I
bat.
mean, you
But
can choose to do that, or you can choose to do a reinsertion letter that's in the static. But again,
oh yeah. Mhm.
my thing is pick one, work that one, see what the result is, and then pivot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna if they delete it, kudos to them. I'm still gonna sue them. I'm gonna tell them to, like, fix it or delete it. I mean, either way, I'm still gonna sue him. But
Okay.
what my goal is to get as much as inaccuracies, and then maybe I could leverage Equifax since they're the weakest to pivot and then work on the other two. So I could use Equifax as leverage. I'm like, well, they got it wrong, and then you guys got this wrong, and then I could go across the board, maybe.
Absolutely.
I don't know. That's my strategy.
Okay, that
I
sounds
don't know.
like a plan. All I'm gonna say is I definitely recommend that as you're going through the process, that you're keeping track on your own. But as far as when you're doing the reinsertion, you're not required to send the when it was deleted, right? If like the dispute letter itself, if you have proof that
Okay.
it was deleted,
Okay, as long as
then all you
I
need.
got as long as I got the source, the main credit reports,
Mhm.
and then I got the before and after,
Mhm.
and then they're still willingly reporting it, then that's all I need really. It's proof.
There you go.
Yeah. Another one too. It's hard to find a lawyer to try to sue these people because I don't know. I've been trying to look for a lawyer. I don't know if you got any connections for the Illinois area.
I have been to CreditCon and I have some. If you want to grab my email, you can shoot me an email.
Okay. Okay.
And just put attorney, and I'll go ahead and send you the attorney contacts that I have in my Rolodex. Not a problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
It is my pleasure, darling. Great question. All right, let me get out of this, y'all. Playing games. Okay. So loyalty tax, I dropped the information for the merchant service option that is connected to Dispute Panda in the chat. So you can definitely jump in and try them. They are really good. And if you have an issue, you are in the mentorship. In the mentorship is the information for I think for a total of 2 merchant services that will work in our industry. So if you go to the bonus contacts, the bonus information in the mentorship group, that information is there for you as well.
Thank you, Puddin'. I appreciate you. Did you
That means she ain't
my
go through.
enrollment thing?
Did what? Say that again.
Did you see my thing for my mentorship? Because they ain't sent me nothing.
I'm not sending you nothing yet because you ain't even been in the mentorship looking at the stuff. That's why you asking about the merchant service.
No, Sugarfoot. I paid my monies.
She said I paid my monies.
I paid my money.
No,
and
everyone's box is going out. There's an email going out because I need everyone's t-shirt size before I can send out the package. Like she said,
it took my money, and then it starts sending me something in Spanish, and I only speak Spanish on Tuesdays.
I'm done playing. Wait, you're talking about in the mentorship?
When I click the little thing on the thing, this asks me my whole business and my blood type and all that stuff.
I'm not playing with you today.
Then I gotta give them a method of payment, and I method of paid them, and then it starts saying Mexican stuff, and I only am a Mexican on Tuesday.
I'm not playing with you. Where are you talking? I'm done. Where are you talking about? Are you talking about on the mentorship site, or are you talking about somewhere else? Because I don't think I
clicked the link that you sent me, and it said,
wait, the link I just sent you right now?
No, ma'am, no, girl. Last week, after I did the thing with you and your home skillet, and I said, you know what? I'm going to pay. And I did.
Okay.
It was 1/4 of my Air Max money. And I paid. Yes, I did. And then once I did the thing, because you told me don't check the big box, check the other box, because the big box was getting evicted. And I did that.
Got it. Okay. And you're saying, did you get your welcome email?
And send me nothing. And I start talking to me in Mexican. So I just needed to know.
Not talking to me in Mexican. I'm done. Why do people do this to me? I will check tonight before I log off. Well, before I log off, I will check with you tonight if you want to stay on the call when we're done. And I will make sure that you personally have your email, because I know that I saw you come across my radar. Like I got your alert and it said your email went out. So I'll share screen so you can see, and then you need to check your spam.
As long as you see me on your radar.
Yeah, you're on my radar. Yeah, so and you're getting an email on Friday to ask for your shirt size because the shirts came in. You want to see the shirt?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna show you after. I'll show you after because you holding up the class.
I just wanted to make sure that you got that you got the thing? Because I was like, I've had no taco or tequila, and I don't speak Mexican except for on
First
Tuesday.
of all, I don't even know if she's talking about y'all because my system don't even speak no other language. Like the fact that she's sitting here talking about this, we're gonna share screen at the end. I promise you. Yes, you need to screenshot me. But I want to say thank you guys.
Thank you. I'm done.
I'm done. This is going to be a fun experience, y'all. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the room. Thank you guys for being amazing and helping me help you guys be great in these credit streets. Okay. My goal is to always help y'all be a beast in these credit streets. And you guys are here to talk about the world's most advanced and effective AI-powered credit repair software. And we are going to start with the monies. Okay, because that's what we're here for. We want to make money and we want to make sure that our overhead is very, very low. For y'all that know me, I am very big on operating our business from the beginning in the black. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know the history of Black Friday. The history of Black Friday was because a lot of businesses were operating in the red, which means they were losing money. And what they decided to do was have Black Friday to make these sales so that they would be able to shift and start getting, before the end of the year came in, they would be able to go back into the black so that their business could be in profit, right? So what Dispute Panda and Credit Dino, which is the credit monitoring software, did was they decided to get together and say, we are going to offer the ability for people to operate right out the gate in the black. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. Now, so Dispute Panda is 100% pay as you go credit repair software. Now, there are two versions of the platform. The original version is the free platform. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I use the free platform, I want to say even 6 months after the pro came out, because I was still getting results on the free 99. Okay. Now, when it first came out, you were paying $17 per month for the attacks, which is the actual dispute letters that would be going to the credit reporting agencies. Okay. The free platform gives you a place for you to house your clients' information. It gives you a place for you to upload the documentation as well as create the dispute letters for your actual clients. That is what the free platform does. The pro platform is when you want to do it as a business and you want to have a lot of what you're doing automated. So if you are looking to have a safe client access portal, if you are looking to have onboarding forms where you can connect it to your website and have your clients be able to sign up and pay and do everything all in one system, that is what the pro allows you to do. The pro also give you perks where for the $1 for 14 days and then the $197 per month, you're not only getting letters to the actual credit reporting agencies, the big three, which is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, you are also going to be getting the letters from getting letters that will go to the actual creditors. And just to clarify, the creditors are Bank of America, Santander, right? Wells Fargo, whoever those companies are, you're also going to be able to get letters that will be drafted specifically with the verbiage for those companies as well when you are using the Pro and the Credit Dino monitoring software. So again, it's a couple. You got to use the Pro and Credit Dino. If you are using other softwares such as MyScore IQ, Smart Credit, Identity IQ, you are not able to get the letters for the creditors, even if you are on the pro, because the pro was only designed to generate letters to the actual creditors if you are using Credit Dino. So on today, when I load my test client in and we go through the process, I'm going to be doing my round for free because I'm using Credit Dino, and I'll show you guys that a little bit later. Okay. So you can use the free platform. You can pay for the monthly platform, or you can pay for the full year if y'all want to and get 2 months free. Okay. Now, that is the pricing structure. Any questions on the pricing for the platform itself before I move forward? Any questions? Hey, David, what questions do you have on the pricing?
Oh, just what you just said. I was just looking at it. So you were just saying that you use the free until you started to say, okay, let me just check it out with the pro. You said 6 months before that.
So I used the free when it first came up until 6 months after the pro came out. And the reason that I did was because originally when the pro came out, there was not a benefit for me. I already had a software where I had email curations, text messages, like I have a full automation already set up. So for me, I did not see the necessity of going to pro at that time. However, when they switched to Credit Dino, and they said, wait a minute, we're going to give you Credit Dino as a credit monitoring software. We're going to give you where when every single month, instead of you paying $17, you will now get to Dispute for free. And I make $8. Then I went to the pro because that made sense to me as far as dollars and cents. I'm making $8 because of the credit monitoring that my client is signing up for that they need to have every single month. I'm then getting $17 credit every single month because I don't have to pay for the letters. And I have the ability to get letters that are going to be created specifically for the creditors. That's when I shifted. So that's what the benefit is for going over to the pro. For me, is if I have pro and I'm using Credit Dino, my letters are free. I make $8 and I'm getting letters to the creditors. Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And then getting the yearly, you pay that one time for the year. Is there anything else that you will be paying for? Does that come with the tax?
So I want to clarify that the attacks, if your client is using any other software besides Credit Dino, you have to pay $17 no matter which plan you're on.
Okay, so I'm looking, okay, so that yearly fee, the pro yearly is $19.70 a year, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay? You get 2 months of it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Is what else would you be paying? What would your cost be when you get to that level if you start off with it, you know?
So I want to clarify, the yearly just means that you're getting 2 months for free. So whether you're paying a full year or you're paying the $197 per month, your package is still the same. So what you're getting is the platform, the Safe Client Access portal. You're getting the ability to add your merchant service in there. You're getting the ability to add your contract in there where your client can sign. You have onboarding forms. You have updates that you can utilize. All of that is included in the pro, right? But when you're saying what else do you pay for, I want to clarify that if your client is using it. So let me ask this question, David. What credit monitoring software does your client currently use?
They'll use the one with Credit Repair Cloud.
What credit monitoring is that?
That would be Credit Hero.
Okay, so just for clarification, Credit Hero is not compatible with this software. You only have the option of Identity IQ, My Score IQ, and they are actually going to be pulling smart credit because we don't have access to that. So they're looking in pulling smart credit if we can't get that integrated. So your options, it is that when you're coming over to this platform, your client has to be using Identity IQ, My Score IQ, or Credit Dino in order for the letters to be generated. If they're using any other credit monitoring software, it's not going to work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one. Number two, if you are utilizing this system and they are not using Credit Dino, which is created specifically for Dispute Panda, the credit monitoring software, you will have to pay the $17 per month per client. If you are letting the system mail the letters out for you, then you are also paying for mail. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So if you are using Credit Hero, unfortunately, you would have to migrate your client over to either Identity IQ or My Score IQ in order for you to be able to use this software.
Okay. So
Okay.
they're trying to get my score now.
I I would say what I will say is that if there is a specific, especially with Credit Hero, I know a lot of people are coming over from CRC to come to this platform. I would recommend that you send that message to support to let them know if there's a way that we can get it integrated. Because what I've seen working with this company and working for this company is that when there's a lot of people that request something, they move in order to make sure that the customer's requests are being met. So I would say to put that request in so that you may be able to keep Credit Hero, but I cannot guarantee that that'll be an option because right now we're only using Identity IQ, MyScore IQ, Credit Dino, and Smart Credit is about to be pulled.
Oh yeah, I wasn't asking for that reason, but I was just listening because I know there are people on the calls too getting it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I was just I'm trying to get the cost together. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I move over, I just want to know my budget. That's all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you go for the pro, it's $197 per month after the $1 for the 14-day trial, or you can pay for the year and that way you get 2 months for free. Outside of that, your responsibility is going to be mailing the letters out if you're using the system to mail it out. And then of course, if you are using any other program besides Credit Dino, you will have to pay $17 per month for each client. Great question, David. I appreciate that. Juan said that Identity IQ is too much. I'm not playing with you today, Juan. I'm not playing with you. Okay. So the next one that we're going to go to, Credit Dino stopped the 7-day. Yes, Credit Dino did stop the 7-day trial. And actually, if you guys have a code, it's $29.99 per month for your client when you sign up for the Credit Dino affiliate. If not, they're paying $39. So y'all better send out that affiliate link so I can make y'all $8. That's all I'm saying. Okay. The training tab. I like to go to the training tab next, especially since we have newbies in here. One of the things that I like to focus on when we're talking about the training tab is before you go up, before you go down, before you go around the corner, y'all, click on this free download. What we did was, number one, again, like I said earlier, we listened to what everyone is asking, right? And one of the biggest things that was being asked across the board was, I want to dispute without having to pay for certified mail. I want to know, when am I supposed to dispute with the other credit reporting agencies? I want to know, when should I file a CFPB complaint? So what we did was we took this information, and although it says Dispute Panda Pro and Credit Dino attack, this attack will work whether your client has repos, charge off, evictions, collections, Mars on his report. Okay. This is going to help your client get the items removed. And this flow will work whether you are on the free platform or if you are on the pro platform. What I like to explain is that you lose some of the bonuses when you are on the free platform. For instance, you will not get the creditor letter, as stated before. You will not be able to get the creditor letters. You will only get the letters for the big 3 credit reporting agencies. You can still select this flow. You can still send the letters to the secondary agencies. You can still select handwritten or not, and you would still be able to know specifically when you should file a CFPB complaint. Okay? So you can go through and actually follow this particular tracking form. The tracking form does give you a full 12 months of disputability. I want to be clear. I've had people ask in the class before, does it take 12 months? It depends, because credit repair is a two-sided coin. One is the activity and the behaviors of your client. The other is you writing the letters that are going to support your client. So depending on what your client has on the report, how many places you may have to dispute will depend on what is going to be able to move forward for your client. And if y'all have clients like I've had in the past, I had one client that every time I got him to a 680, he would go out and buy something new. He would go out and do something. So that particular client stayed with me for 2 years to get his goal because he was self-sabotaging during the process. So what we wanted to do was give you a full method for you to be able to go through the process, right? From start to finish. Juan is asking in the chat, should you tell them to freeze everything? I'm going to tell you that I personally do not tell clients to freeze everything. I freeze based on what is going on in that particular client's file. So if I'm working a bankruptcy, I may freeze my client's account because of my bankruptcy method. However, if I'm dealing with late payments and charge-offs and things of that nature, that's not necessarily a client that I'm going to go ahead and freeze everything for. Also, guys, as you guys are talking about freezing, oh, Chelsea's in the room. Hey, girl. So, Chelsea, what freeze is that there is a letter that you can send out to these what we call secondary agencies, which is showing here. This is LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI, ARS. Those are other agencies that feed information into Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Also, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion own some of these secondary agencies. One of the method that sometimes happens is that you can choose to freeze the actual conversation between one agency and another so that you can go through and dispute. That's one of the tactics that can be leveraged when you're trying to help your client. However, it is not necessarily across the board required. Some people do it completely across the board. Once they've done the report, they then turn around and unfreeze the profile. However, because some of the TransUnion owns a couple of secondary agencies or have ties to them, that is not always an effective route that I've seen to get done. That's just my feedback on the freeze option. Do you recommend to pay off credit card charge-offs? That's a great question, Connie. It depends on the client's file and what their end goal is. I do not have a blanket answer for everything. The reason that I say that is because, and I'm going to give you an example. I had a friend of mine who was about to close on a house, and her underwriter says, you need to get rid of these 3 things that's on your credit report, which totaled about $2,000. She was like, well, I don't want to pay it. I don't want, one of them was like a repo for like $1,000, right? And she was like, I don't want to pay it because if I pay it, it's going to show as paid and it's still going to show on my credit report. I said, well, one, you can call them and you can try to negotiate with them that if you pay it, they take it off your credit report. That's number one. Number two, you're trying to pay this debt to get into the house, and the lender is telling you that they don't care if the account stays there. They care about the open balance, right? So, or the outstanding balance that's sitting there. So, depending on my client's situation will depend on if I'm going to tell them in this moment, in this season, we don't care that it's staying there because this lender, this underwriter is saying that they will give you the moon, the sun, and the stars as long as your balance is X, right? But if that's not the situation for my client, then I'm going to be looking at other options. When it comes to a charge off, I'm not going to jump into just pay. What I will tell you is that I do tell my clients, you cannot come in and think that you can create havoc and still have relationships with some of these institutions. Some of these institutions will turn you down even when your credit score gets better in the 700 and 800s because you have a bad relationship with them. So I'm going to ask the client, hey, what is your end goal? Do you plan on still having relationship with that particular creditor? Because if so, we're now going to have a discussion on should we pay that credit card or not. Also, I don't pay a charge off until I get the 1099-C because I need to know what was the designation of that charge off. I also need to know what that statute of limitation is looking like. Like it's a little bit more than just saying a blanket yes or no. It's really situational. And I'm so sorry it took so long to answer that, Connie, but did that help? Let me know if that helped. But it is a case-by-case situation. It's not a blanket answer. Great question, though. Thank you, Connie. I know I'm long-winded, girl. Don't worry about it. I'm Aquarius. Just understand. What letter should you send if Experian says that they don't think it's you? If you go, I know you asked that question already, Mr. Smith, because I remembers you. Okay. If you go into the static letters, there is a stall letter, and that is what you would send, and I would resend the dispute that you originally sent out to Experian when they sent you that stall letter response. So you would go to stall letters, you would click type in when you sent the original round of disputes. If it's within that 15-day window, you're going to send the stall letter and you're going to resend the original dispute request you have. My answer ain't finna change, bro. Look, he said he laughing. See, I'm done with you. Smith coming in here acting up. Thank you, my love. All right. So this is going to give you a full report as to how you're going to process your client for a full 12 months. I have some clients that come to me, and because of their profile, we are able to build them up in 3 months. I have some clients that are with me for 6 months. I have a client that has been with me for 24 months. Everyone's goal is different and everyone's life is different. If they have to leave and come back in the program, we have to give time for the process to go through, right? Life be lifing, and we have to be able to navigate those waters. Now, one of the things I want to point out is the attack frequency. So over here, it tells you the attack number. It tells you what letter to pick. It tells you how aggressive your verbiage is supposed to be. Okay, that's what this attack variation is. And then over here, it's going to tell you the frequency. The frequency is important because legally, by law, it says that when you send a dispute request, you have to allow the credit bureaus 30 days to dispute the file. So we allow a 35-day window, 5 days for the letters to get there, 30 days for it to be processed, and then you can go and pull your client's file again. And if you're using Credit Dino, you will get a free round of attack every 35 days. My company is a 40 to 45-day company because I want my clients to get the documents back in the mail. I personally have meetings with them. Well, I try to when they show up. I do a review, and I go over not just what's on the report, but what they physically got in the mail, because there's coding and there's verbiage on the report that you need to know, and they need to have an understanding. Because my goal is, once you're done with my program, you never have to come back to credit repair again, because you will know how to play the credit game. Okay. So just be clear, you're supposed to allow 35 days for the process to go through. Okay. Connie said, when I dispute to the credit bureaus, they come back less than 2 days saying my dispute is correct and I am wrong. So Connie, are you using this software, or are you talking about it? Well, no, you said are you using this software? Number one. Number two, when it says that it's correct, have you gone in and asked for their method of verification? Because a lot of times they're only checking their internal system. They're not reaching out to the actual creditor, and they're not actually doing any checking outside. So when you get it back saying that the information was correct and there's nothing wrong, have you gone back and sent a method of validation or verification letter that's in the static letters?
No.
Okay. I would say if you got that response back, look at which credit bureau gave that to you, go to the static letters, and then go ahead and select method of verification so you can ask, especially if you're in the free version, because the reason that the team created the pro was because we saw a lot of that happening in-house. A lot of people were getting back, things are verified, things are done, because the credit bureau was not reaching out to the creditors. So because of that, we created the creditor letters to make sure that it goes to the creditors, and the creditors don't want to be fined. So they're going to respond to you with your payment history, with your information, so you can then validate that information accordingly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Great question. Okay. Don, I think it's Damon. Let's go with that. Damon said, I got my results back from my first round and all accounts were verified as accurate, but I noticed a few discrepancies with the accounts. They actually didn't report the late payments properly. Do I send the second round of letters? I noticed that it is essentially the same as the first, but it limits to 5 accounts. I forgot the name of the attack, but it's most effective. Okay, so if you're still using the blue or the red, like that flow, that's fine. Yes, just because you sent 1 round, you're not stopping. I want to clarify that credit repair is not just going to be a 1 round and you're done situation, right? Unless all you have is one thing and that item is removed. So yes, to let you know, you would go ahead and, you said you just answered the question. You would go through that. Connie said no. E Oscar, they dumb bot static letters. Yep, E Oscar is horrible. Okay. All right. Great questions in the chat, guys. I really appreciate y'all so much for y'all questions. All right. I wanted to make sure I got everyone. So now we're going to go back. So when you go through the training, we do have full videos that are here that will take you through all the tabs and all of the information that's in the system. Oh, I'm so sorry. Chelsea, eOscar is the system, because I like to circle back, y'all. eOscar is the actual system that the credit reporting agencies use that is internal. So a lot of times when we're sending our disputes out, the internal system is what they're checking. They're not always going to the secondary agencies, and they're not always going to the creditors directly to go ahead and verify that the account information that they have is correct. A lot of times they're just going back to when that report was reported to them, or when that account was reported to them, and they're looking at their internal system and saying, yep, everything's right because it was reported back in 1999. Bro, no, I need you to do your due diligence and actually reach out to the creditors, because they could be doing it wrong. And I want to let y'all know, Capital One is the #1 company that is bad at actually reporting your payment history correctly. They are horrible. Okay. You heard that? That's how deep it was. Horrible. So when we are going through, that's why the team created the pro version, so that you could have letters to go to the creditors. But if you guys are not going to the pro, which is okay, I'm going to tell y'all again, I used the free version for like almost a year, because I was like, I don't really see the necessity. I'll get my response, but I promise you, you don't want to stop, because sometimes what they will simply do is only check their internal system, which is what the eOscar system is. And then the system will just kick back everything is valid, and it's not. And that's why we have a validation letter. So the source was bad, and they went back to the state. Girl. You got it. You got it. They said, Charlene don't know how to make no good macaroni and cheese, but we're going to invite her to make macaroni and cheese next year. That's what they said. You got it, Chelsea. You my friend. Come on now. So yes, this is why we have that's why there are different attack methods that you can leverage. Like Juan was talking about litigation, there's factual disputing, there's Metro 2, there's consumer law, and this system can bring all of it together. Okay. What should you do when they don't take addresses off of the profile stated that it is connected to an authorized user on the profile? So I'm going to tell you that when it comes to personal information, some people call. I have a client who has called several times, and when they call, they claim that it's getting removed and it's still showing up on the credit report. I'm going to be 1000 transparent to you. I do personal information letter the first day, the 15th day, the 30th day, and then every 30 days until that personal information is updated. I do it to the main 3 credit bureaus, and I do it to all the secondary agencies that my client has an account with as well. I don't care what you say. The law says that this is not my account. I don't live here no more. So I will go ahead and continue to dispute. You don't just do one and done. Now, the letters that are generated within Dispute Panda, every single letter does have the information of your personal information, but I send an intent letter because I list out all of the addresses that are on the client's credit report that are not valid for my client. Great question. Mail them, and you can also call them too if you have patience and read the validation letter, but record it. I love it. Juan said harass they behind. That's what Juan said. Okay, I like Juan. Juan be like, we gonna get them. We gonna get them. Thank you, Juan. Okay, so we've covered training. We're gonna move into contact. If you guys have a question, concern, or comment as you are going through, I always tell you that customer service is here. I'm gonna say this to y'all, okay? I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and sometimes Thursday. All right, I'm not gonna be here tomorrow, but sometimes Thursday. What that means is customer service is here all the time when I'm not here. They pull up to the club all the time. They in Club Panda all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, if you have a question about a client, you're going to use client support. You're going to put the client's name in. I just dropped a link in the chat that is for a program called Loom, Loom. It records up to a 5-minute video. It gives you a downloadable link, and you can record the screen in the issue that you're having. But why I always share my Loom link with you guys is because Loom lets you know when the person watched the video. Come on, somebody. So now you can track it. So for me, I'm a very patient, impatient person. So if I send you the video and I see that you watched it today, my expectation is that I hear back from you within 24 to 48 hours. If not, I'm sending another message. But this gives you like a tracker for you to see when they viewed your information and when it's going to be available. So I did drop that in the chat. You can send all the questions you need to customer service, whether it's rounds, subscriptions, clients, account issues. And if you click on general, you can go ahead and talk about press, partnership, beta testing, or any other questions that you may have that may not be client specific, but may be system specific. Okay. Question in the chat. I got student loans paid off, but by the government, but it won't totally remove. Why? That's a great question. When you say totally removed, my question is, does it show 0? Because I want to be clear, a lot of times when we're going through, people think that once the debt is paid, the account is going to come off. Your accounts that are negative or positive stay on your report for 7 years. Bankruptcy can stay on your report up to 10 years. Unless you are doing something to dispute it, that account is not going to be removed. What will happen is if the account is paid off, it should be reported and updated as paid. That does not mean the account is going to be removed because it was a valid account, right? If you're wanting to remove it, what would be the legal standings that you're leveraging to remove it? Because if it's in good standings, it's an account that's not open, it's closed, paid off, balance is 0, and it shows on-time payments, I wouldn't remove that account because that's saying in your track record that you were able to pay on time and you were able to pay off, because they don't need to know. There's like not a coding that says the government paid it off. It just shows a 0 balance, right? So I wouldn't necessarily be too concerned about that, Connie, if it's at a 0 balance. If it's still open, that's when I'd be concerned.
No, it's closed. It's just that I thought once it was cleared and it was paid by the government, because it was what was going on with the government.
Forgiveness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured it would just just removed it. I know some of the other 2 credit bureaus, they just keep saying it's validated, it's valid. I said, no, it's not. I got the letter. It's just like they just dismissing it. It's not even showing 0. It's still showing I owe. And 1 credit bureau would show 0 paid. I'm like,
so when you say, does it say 0 paid or 0 owed?
One says 0 paid, the other one is still showing that I owe with payment. Like I'm behind. I'm like, no.
So in that particular case, in that particular case, if you have the letter that said that your student loan was forgiven, I'm not disputing through the system. I'm taking that payment letter that says the government is paying my stuff, and I'm writing out a factual letter stating, you guys have that I have an open balance. This letter says my student loan was forgiven and my balance is 0. Update it accordingly. And if you can, you need to go to the 15 U.S. Code statute and grab the statute that says that they're in violation and send that off to them, because you have proof that that document, that account was paid off. It's not going to remove it's not going to remove the account, but the account needs to show a 0 balance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can you send me that code? You say I need to.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're not in my mentorship. I'm so sorry. Love you. It's great. I love it. Appreciate you. Y'all better come to my open workroom. That's the only time y'all get free. Okay. I do not come for the free. I'm very
I need a personal invitation.
Okay. Well, it was in the chat. You invited to Club Raquel.
Okay.
Club Wealth Insight. I'll drop it again.
Okay.
Y'all see how she tried? You see how they be doing me wrong in this group. They be doing me wrong in this group, but I keep coming back because I like y'all.
All right.
I like y'all. But great question. Yes. In that particular case, you have proof that the government said that they were going to pay. I'm not going the route of a dispute letter because you have a validation letter that says your debt was going to be forgiven. So you're going to use different different tactics for that particular scenario. Great question though. I have a Penske Grain Technology account. They reported it late, then it charged off and then marked it late. How would you attack this? So my question is, what is the actual, so let me be clear. The system is already going to attack it, and it's going to use Metro 2 coding because it cannot be late and charged off. It's going to be late, then charge off, then the account should be closed. It should not be going back and forth unless you are doing something. You're paying, you're changing the information, then it's going to go through. There's nothing that you physically have to do. You literally just literally get the attack flow. You can use the new attack flow. You can use the old attack flow. You get the attack flow and you work the flow. There's nothing special that you necessarily have to do for that one, but I would need more context if there was something special that you needed to do outside of. How do you add the factual dispute? If you're wanting to add it within the system, I'll show you how to do that. If you're wanting to send it separately, you would just draft it on a Word document, print it, and send it out. Is it in the free training video? So the system already has factual and Metro 2 verbiage. The verbiage that I was telling Miss Connie just a while ago that she needed to use, that would be something that she would freeform write for that one particular account, is what I was giving her the information on. Hold on, let me see. Okay, great question. Hold on, y'all. My 6-year-old just pulled up the Club Panda. Hold on. Y'all want a 6-year-old? He cute. He takes showers and everything most of the time. Okay. So we've gone through the whole system. Any questions before I actually go to sign up for the account? Because I want to start fresh for Miss Chelsea. Any questions, y'all? Nay, when you get a minute, can you turn on the air down here for me? When you get a minute, can you turn on the air down here for me? I'm cooking. I feel like a Vienna sausage. No, ma'am, it's hot. It's hotter than bricks. It's 1,000 degrees in this office. I'm cooking us. All right. No questions, guys? No questions? All right. So we're going to dive in to signing up for the account. So while I am signing up for this account, I am going to tell you guys that you cannot have the same email address as the owner of the account and the user. So there is, if you are doing this for yourself, so let's say using my lovely friend Chelsea, let's say Chelsea is going to sign up for the account. She would have to use chelseat@gmail.com for the actual account owner. When she gets into the actual account and she's loading herself in the system, she would need to use C by the C @gmail.com, right? She'd have to use a different email address in order for the system to work. It will not allow an owner's email address as a user. I'm going to say this very lovely, y'all. Before y'all load anyone into the system, frick, frack, foe, and them, please load yourself in the system so you see what it looks like. You can go through smoothly. You can update it. You can be the test client through the process before you go ahead and load someone else in. Okay. Rock the boat at bigmail.com. There we go. Now, your phone number can be the same, so you don't have to worry about the phone number portion, guys. If you don't have to put anything in here, if you don't have a company name, it will automatically default to your full name. Let me make sure I did the right password. Hold on. All right. You do have to check the by signing up, you agree to the terms and conditions. I sign up for the email special offers because I like free. I like discounts. I like announcements. January, February, I'm inquisitive. Okay. So you want to go ahead and sign up. Now, this is going to take you straight into the Panda service agreement. You're going to scroll down, click the box. This is telling you how Dispute Panda will do business with you and how it expects you to do business with them. Okay. You're going to accept it, and then you're going to get to the main dashboard. The main dashboard is going to tell you the round that you're on. It's going to tell you the missing information, and it's going to tell you any birthdays that are available on the main screen. Down here will be the report for what activity has gone on for the month. This black bar is going to be up here until you verify your information. I'll be able to work through it without verifying. As you guys can tell, there is really nothing I can do because I use the fake mail email address. Okay, it is what it is. We just gonna act right. All right. So with that being said, in the system, I like to take you guys to how we can make drip money. The first thing that you want to do once you get into the system is become an affiliate for Credit Dino. You can make anywhere from $8 up to $22. Credit Dino does have different packages. So if you want to get a different package, you have the ability to do so. And that way you can earn more on the affiliate commission on the back end for your client, from your clients. Okay. Also, remember, if you have Credit Dino, it's $17 credit that you're getting for each client plus the minimum of $8 payout, which means you're up by $25 already out of your budget. Okay. So if you're charging, let's say like my monthly package before used to be $179 a month, I'm not using anything to generate letters. So I'm already having that $179 stay in my package, plus I'm making $8, right, for that client. So you got to look at what your numbers are looking like on the back end. So you want to sign up for this. Also, we do have an affiliate program that you can sign up, that you can tell people about Dispute Panda, and any person that signs up under your link, you will get free credits for them. The program is currently not live, but it will go live. And when it does, you will have your own personal link that you can give out. So if you go to trade events, if you're a realtor, if you're a tax person, once that goes live, you can take your link and actually give it to people and be like, sign up for Dispute Panda. And you can show them how to use the system because you've been in this meeting this whole time. Okay. It also gives you the ability for you to upgrade to Panda Pro. If you are looking to get to clients, you would go to the magnifying glass. You do have to type in 3 characters for the clients to pull up, or you can click on the client tab. Once you click active, you can actually see your active clients. You can see your inactive clients. If you are moving from another software, you can import the client in with the CSV files using this template, right? If you are having a problem, y'all use Loom. Show them what's going on. You can send that video to the customer service, and you can send the CSV file and they will pull your client in for you. Okay. If you want to upload a new client, you would click on the new client tab, and we are going to do that in a moment, but I want to make sure we get through all the tabs. Then you get to click on letters. Letters shows you what letters have been gone out for your clients. I want to point out that the system will only mail out the letters if you tell it to. If you do not tell it to, it ain't gonna mail nothing out. That's it. That's all. Okay. So with that being said, as you are going through, I want you guys to know how the actual system works. So when you are having us mail the letters out for you, which is in-house through our Dispute Panda team, what you are able to do is you do get, it does go out same day if it's before 12 p.m. West Coast time, where Snoop and them at, okay? It goes out the same day. If it's after 12 p.m., it goes out the next business day. The only trackable option is when you are using certified mail. If you are not using certified mail, it is going regular mail. Just as if you were at home, you put a stamp on it and you took it to the post office. That is what first class mail is. Okay, guys? You do not have to log into USPS if you are using the tracking. You literally can come here, and I will show you guys where you can find that information once I generate a letter for a client. So I can recruit people to help me get clients with the affiliate program. If so, how are they compensated? So the affiliate program is not you recruiting people for you to get customers. The affiliate program is you helping other people that want to come into the credit repair space get on this platform, and that way they can start their credit repair company. So for instance, I have a bunch of realtor friends. Whenever they say that they're ready to start credit repair, I give them my affiliate link with Dispute Panda so that they can sign up with this software that I know gets results, right? So once they sign up, I get paid out for every client that they have on the system, as long as they keep loading and they signed up under my affiliate link. If you want to have an affiliate program, that would be something that you would create. So I have an affiliate program that if my clients refer people to me, they get $35. And I have another program for realtors, solar panel, like people that are in those industries, that if they send clients to me, they get paid out commission as well. Right. But that is an affiliate program that I handle within my automation sequence. Great question, Chelsea. Is this in pro, or can I have an affiliate link without pro? So as long as you click that button on the dashboard here and you click accept, once the program goes live, you'll be able to get your affiliate link. It doesn't matter if you're on the free or the pro version. Great question. What is the difference between Dispute Panda and Metro 2? Dispute Panda has Metro 2 letters. So I'm not quite clear the question. Can you restate it a little bit? Metro 2 is a disputing method that has to do with coding. Dispute Panda has Metro 2 coding verbiage and capability within the software. Hope I answered that question.
Okay. Yes. You answered the question.
Good.
Okay.
Sometimes I get it right. My pleasure. Okay. The next one is the inbox option. This is what you're able to leverage when you have the pro version, so your clients can speak to you on a safe client portal access. The report tab. I love the report tab. I love showing y'all the report tab. The report tab is where I can go to go ahead and show my stats. Okay. So when you guys get the pro, you're able to go ahead and show the stats as to how much dollars have you gotten deleted, how much scores have you either increased or decreased. A lot of people only like to talk wins. Y'all, if y'all follow me on social media, I'm in the streets, honey. I talk losses, okay? Because the reality of the situation is a lot more people are not following the program accurately than people who are following the program accurately. So I love to talk about my wins, but I like to talk about when I see the scores dip, when I see something has dropped, because now I'm looking at the report and I'm like, oh, okay, you went and you used all of your credit card. When you were with me last month, your utilization was only at 30%, but now your utilization at 70%, right? So now I can talk to them and show them how activities and behaviors can disrupt the actual credit score. Or if I remove an account that a client was adamant about removing, right? It gets removed and now their age has changed and now their score has dropped. Now I'm having an educated conversation about why that's impacting the client so that I can make sure that I'm nurturing and giving them those particular pieces of information. But I can use these stats to get eyeballs on my stuff, okay? And then you can take that stats, turn it into a post. And if you guys have your logo, your website, your phone number, all of that stuff will show up on the stats and you can share it on your platform. When you go to pro, you have the ability to do it on the free level as well as, on the company level as well as each individual. So I can do this on the company level. And then when I add myself into the system, guys, you'll see that I'll be able to do it on the customer level as well. The subscription tab is where you can add your merchant services. You can create onboarding forms. You can create payment structure plans. So if you want to do monthly or if you want to do pay per delete, you have either one of those options that you can have them sign up for. The training tab takes you back to training. And of course, the contact tab takes you to contact. Any questions on any of the things that we went through on the side panel? Because we're about to jump into settings. Any questions? Let me see if there's anything in the chat. All right. So when we click, there are two ways to get into the settings. You can click the actual balance bar, or you can click these three dots and click on settings. When you go into settings, the first thing that it'll take you to is your profile. Your profile is your actual account information, your name. You can put a photo in here. I want to clarify, if you put a photo in here, y'all, it ain't nobody gonna see it if you're on free. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see your beautiful picture. Okay, that nice little, when you got them lashes. or Juan when he got them fresh braids. Okay, that's all you're gonna see up here. Okay. You gonna see it. Nobody else is gonna see it till you get to the pro. You can click on the organization tab. Once you have a company logo, you can put your company logo in, your website, your phone number, your privacy policy, your business address, and your contract. If anyone needs a contract, let me know. I can drop a sample contract in there for you. If you want to go ahead and add a team member, like I have my wonderful niece who's over here stuffing boxes for me. I love you, Niecey. You're the best. You're awesome. Okay, she's stuffing boxes for me. You got to give her motivation. And so you, instead of me going into the system and giving her my password, I can give her her own login information. So she will be able to go ahead and sign up under and create her own password with the email that I'm going to connect. The affiliate link is where you can put all of your affiliates there. So if you have an affiliate code with Identity IQ, you have one with MyScore IQ. Once you go to the pro, it gives your clients the ability to select on the dashboard. So when they log in and they're looking in their portal, they'll sign their contracts. Then it will go ahead and tell them where they can go to get their credit monitoring. And you can keep all of these on, or y'all can turn off whichever one you're not using and just hit save so that your client will only get one option once they get into the dashboard. Okay. The disputing option gives you the ability for you to change the addresses. So the credit bureau has 7 to 15 different addresses, y'all, right? That I know of. I'm gonna talk about what I know of. So you can choose to dispute from every address. That is a tactic that is done, that you send out the letters to all of the addresses to see who's going to respond or who's not going to respond. Or you can change it every other month if you choose to do so, or you can leave it as is. But we just want you to know that you have the ability to change the addresses in the system here. The billing tab is where you can set up your payment, your dedicated payment source. I want to point out that this payment source needs to be your card. So if you are doing this for yourself, your family, your cousins, your friends, they're going to pay you, but your card is going to be the only card that's on file. Now you can purchase amounts in blocks, or you can do a subscribe and save. Remember that if you're using any other credit monitoring software than Credit Dyno, you have to pay $17 per round. The static letters, which go to the other credit reporting agencies, LexisNexis, Innovis, so on, those static letters, you have to have at least $1 in your bucket for that letter to be generated. It doesn't cost you anything, but you have to have money in your bucket for it to work. Now, the subscribe and save does it where you can sign up for $20 and you'll get 30, or you can sign up for $60 and you'll get 90. Okay. Whichever one works for you. And then it rolls over every single month. So you're able to use whatever you don't use still stays there, and then you just add on to it. Okay. If you run out of money, as my son would say, if you run out of money and you have to purchase a bulk, then you're just getting that flat amount for the bulk. You're not getting double or half of what you paid for. Okay. Just want to make sure that that's clear. All right. Invoice tab. The invoice tab is where you can see the outstanding invoices for your clients, what you're paying for Panda Pro, and any statements that are available. The activity tab is where you can see the attacks, any mails that are going to go out, and any attack credits that has been used. After I do the client's file, I'll show you guys what that looks like. The integration tab is a pro tool. So I have it set up where when my client gets added into this system, Zapier automatically adds them into my automation system that tells them nurturing emails, give them updates, give them accountability check-ins, like all of that. So a lot of my communication, like my touch points, is not done by me. It's already been developed, and I've created a complete sequence for home buyers. I have a complete sequence for people that are looking to purchase auto, or people that are looking to get new jobs, right? Because everyone comes to credit repair for a different, although I'm niche specific, everyone is coming to me for a different need, right? Especially if the cousin told me that you were dope and I'm coming over to you. There's going to be a different need. So you want to make sure that you're having education that is going to speak to that need, but is not going to drain you as a person through the process. So I have it where when a client comes in here, they automatically go into my nurturing campaign. so that they can get to know all the sauce that they need to get done. Okay. Here's the link again for you to sign up for the referral. Any questions on the settings and what we've covered so far before we load our person in? Any questions, guys?
Yeah, one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you get on and let's say you do the 197 a month, after you, that's the subscription for the month. And then if you just say you do 15 clients in that month, what would that be on average? I have to, that's per attack, and then the actual mail, depending on how I dispute it, that would determine the price, right?
So I want to ask this question. What credit monitoring service is your client going to be using when you come over here?
Well, I mean, you can use Dino.
If they're
Yeah,
using
I mean,
Dino, you're not paying for the attack.
got you. Got you.
So it's $0 for the attack if they're using Credit Dino. So the only thing that you would be paying if you're using Credit Dino would be the cost of that mail for that client. And that mail is going to fluctuate. So when we get to the test client, I will open up the mail section so you can see what the cent amount is, so you can gauge that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, total.
Yeah.
Total.
So if you're using Credit Dino as your credit monitoring software, your cost for your rounds every 35 days or more, meaning as long as it's within that 35-day or beyond window, is $0 that you are paying for the attack. If you are using any other credit monitoring service and you have 35 clients, it would be 35 times 17. As your base guideline. So if we're just talking attacks, not using Credit Dino, you have 35 clients, you're going to times that by $17. If you are using Credit Dino, it's $0. So your clients, all 35 of them, is going to cost you $0 for you to dispute them. Does that make sense?
Yes. So yeah,
Awesome.
so that costs because you're buying into the whole program.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So let
Okay.
me be clear, whether you have the pro, because I want to make sure I don't want to confuse you, whether you have the pro or you have the free, if you are using Credit Dino, the cost of an attack is $0.
Okay. And then when you upgrade to the pro, it's more features, and you said one of the features is the secondary bureaus.
Nope, the feature that secondary bureau is in the free version as well. The feature that you get when you upgrade to pro is the letters that go directly to the creditors. So to Bank of
Gotcha.
America, Wells Fargo, Chase, correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Great questions. That's right, Chelsea. That's why people come to Club Panda all the time, because we got to split this up. Sometimes, you hear new things and you got to be able to digest it all. So no, I love that. Yeah. Sometimes you got to space it out. But yes, if you guys are using Credit Dino as the credit monitoring system, you are paying $0 at all. You're paying nothing for your dispute, no matter which platform you have, whether you are on the free platform or you are on the pro, your disputes will be completely free because you are given a credit. And I'm going to show you how that works in a second. I thought it was $17 for free. What is $17 for free? So let me go back to here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Pricing. So it's $17 per month for any attack letters that are going out, no matter what platform you're on. So for the system to generate the attack letters that are going to go out to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, it is a $17 charge unless you are using the Credit Dino credit monitoring software. If you use Credit Dino as your credit monitoring software for your clients, then this $17 is completely waived. Let me show you. Does that make sense, Chelsea? Let me know if you understand. If not, I promise I'm gonna show you so you can see. Because some people is visuals, okay? All right. So before I get started in loading myself in as a test client, yes, Chelsea, that's the answer, girlfriend. The answer is all your clients need to be on Credit Dino, because if all your clients are on Credit Dino, it is free 99 for them. Also, I'm going to show y'all Credit Dino. Right now, Credit Dino is showing $39.99 for someone to sign up. When you get your code, they're only paying $29.99. You're still making $8 and the attack is completely free. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, can you repeat that for me, David?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt, Chelsea. You want to finish, Chelsea? I'm sorry.
Oh, did you have another question for me, Chelsea? I don't know if she came off of mute. I don't think Chelsea. If you have another question, Chelsea, you can drop it in the chat, boo. What was your question, David?
Oh, I was just saying, so basically, if you yourself have it, you get a free attack. But then when your clients keep it going as well as you're saying that basically it could become free 99 as far as a dispute, because every month when you go back in and get an attack for them, that will be credit that you've earned and they've earned as well. Is that correct?
I'm confused when you say credit that I've earned. So whoever signs up, so let me back up. If I'm a customer in the system, I'm fixing my credit and I have Credit Dino, then I would earn a free round of attack for me, right? If I have 17 clients and all 17 clients is paying for the credit monitoring with Credit Dino, every 35 days, I get a free round of attack for them. I'm always, as long as they're using my affiliate link, I'm going to earn $8 per client on the basic plan. So I don't have to sign up for anything. All that you're doing is you're creating an affiliate link right here, and you're giving that to your clients for them to log in and sign up. So just like you're with CRC and you use the Credit Hero, whatever that credit monitoring in, instead of you pushing that credit monitoring service, you're now going to give them your affiliate link for Credit Dino. Every client that signs up, you get a free round of attack every 35 days, and you make $8 from them.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, very clear.
Awesome. Perfect. Got it. They screwed up their credit, so they just have to pay for Credit Dino. They're going to pay anyway. So let me clarify. You have to have a credit monitoring software for any credit repair software you're using. So David is saying he's with another credit disputing software, and they have a credit monitoring service. You need the credit monitoring service so that you can pull their report every month. You cannot rely on the client to send you the information, because we couldn't rely on what you was doing before. So no, we're not going to wait for you to send me the information. So you have to have a credit monitoring software. That is where you can go in, pull the updated report, see what's been removed, what's not been removed, right? You have to have a monitoring software if you are doing credit repair, because the credit bureaus do not allow direct access to the credit report to any system. So a lot of people, like I tell my clients when they're looking to get a house, when they first sign up with me, I have them go to myfico.com the very first time. 3 months in, I make them pull their MyFICO again, and 3 months in, I make them pull it one more time. MyFICO, although it's their actual FICO 8, 10, 2, 5, 4, I can see all of that. It does not allow any credit monitoring, credit repair software to get access to them. So the only way to get their report, their 3 bureau report, is by having I call it an intermediate system that will allow access to it. So that could be Identity IQ, that can be Smart Credit, that can be Privacy Guard, that could be My Score IQ. There are multiple credit monitoring softwares. You just want to steer your client to Credit Dino, especially with you having an affiliate link, because you will make money every single month that they have that particular platform, and you get a free round of attack as well. So as long as you're doing credit repair, they need to have a credit monitoring software. Basically, clients are paying for their own attacks every month with the Credit Dino. Basically, Credit Dino is rewarding you as the business owner. They're rewarding you as the business owner by gifting you a free attack because they were still paying for that monthly software. Great question. Any other questions, David? I'm sorry, I was reading the chat too. And
oh, no problem. I was just saying, so what if you decide, does it make sense that you do a double dispute in that 30-day period?
What do you mean by a double dispute?
Like after like 14 days or something, you go back in, maybe a different letter or whatever, or do you need it?
So the law says that you're not supposed to send a round out without it being 30 days. So when you send a letter out, a dispute letter out, you are required to give the reporting agencies 30 days to dispute.
Gotcha.
So unless you're doing the 2-week method, which is something completely different, double dispute is outside of the law, and it's going to add on an additional 15 days in your dispute process if you choose to do that.
I got you. I understand. Now, I understand what you just said. Thank you.
Awesome sauce. Okay. Juan said you gotta go by the law. That's right, Juan. Come on, friend. Okay. Now
I was talking about under law. I was just asking for that just in case.
Oh yeah, no. But let me also say this. Let me also say this, because what he said is a great question.
What if I did? No, let me do this. Let me do this. Mm-hmm. What if I had 20 accounts and I did 10 at a time or 5 at a time? That's what I'm talking about. So if I do 5 accounts with different disputes, that's all. That's all I was looking at.
So because, one second, let me answer that question. What I'm going to tell you is that the system only gives you a credit in a 35-day window. So if you elect to do that method, let's say you only select, once you upload the report, you only select 5 accounts to dispute in that round. If you go back in and you go to pull another 5 and you're doing a different set of letters, you're now paying the $17.
Got you. Okay, that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. But yeah, that's a technique that I was using a while. I've been in like 12, 13 years like that, and started doing other stuff. So what I'm doing now is just putting a firm together like that. That's all.
Yeah, no, and that's completely fine. Now, just for transparency, the system is already going to break based on which letter you pick. They're already capping how many accounts and inquiries are going to go on the letter. So you have the option to turn around if you want to and say, I'm going to send out this letter today, and then I'm going to wait 15 days and send out this letter with the other 5 accounts, right, on this day. But the situation will still fall into, you still have to give 30 days for each one. So how are you going to, when you're tracking, that's completely fine. But as far as systemically, if you're coming in and saying, well, so for instance, let me move this out the way. For instance, let's say you're doing the first 5 and you're going to use Supreme Boosted, but the next 5 you want to do as regular and not Supreme Boosted. When you go back in to select that account variation in that 15 days, it's going to charge you $17.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
So that's the only thing that so I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that if that's what you're choosing to do, it will charge you because you're pulling a request for another set of letters before that 35-day window is up. Great question.
Yeah. That's all I was asking it for, but I was talking more because the spectator was saying, "Oh, you got to follow the law." Like, no, it ain't no illegal stuff going on over here. I'm just clearing that up with that guy.
No
That's all.
worries at
But-
all. No, but that was a great question because I want everyone to know you only get the free credit in that 35-day window if you pull it earlier. And I found out the hard way, y'all, because Hunty, I had my VAs and I was like, hey, go ahead and work it. And I created the list. I sent it to them. And then they were like, oh, it's been 30 days. And we went in. I said, no, I'm a 40-day company. I done told y'all that. I said, I told y'all that. And then I saw, and when my balance went down, I almost choked y'all. I was like, what did y'all do to me? So yeah, and you definitely don't want to be frivolous. So completely understood. Now I want to jump into, and thank you, David, for dropping it in the chat. If you guys are by your computer, please download the actual image that you see in front of you now. This is going to be pivotal when you are uploading or you are supporting your clients. Now, these yellow things that are highlighted, they're highlighted for a reason. I want to point out if your client was originally from New York, okay, they lived in New York, they had a New York ID, but they just recently moved to Chicago. You are not going to use their ID if their ID is from New York because they now reside in Chicago. The goal is one name, one address, one date of birth, okay, on the credit report. You are not going to provide a piece of documentation that is going to show that it's outside of the ramification that is needed. Okay. So when it comes to the driver's license, if they have moved states, I'm not saying it's not valid because it's still active. I'm saying it's not valid because that's not where they stay. So you want to move on to another piece of documentation. So whether it's a social security card, the paycheck stub, W-2, y'all, I'm a passport user all day. Okay. You want to leverage something else that is a proof of identification. All right. When it comes to the proof of address, if you are using a residential bill, best practice is to get an updated bill every 60 to 90 days because we all know that the credit bureaus will try to find any way possible to stop us from being great. We want to cut that out, right? So we want to circumvent that. So if you guys can use a cell phone number, a bank statement. I love bank statements because I don't do nothing but just crop that little address, go ahead, be great. Okay. So that's what you want to leverage. If you are using the social security card as a proof of identification, you do not need to send it in the other tab. The only requirements is proof of identification and proof of address. That is it. That is all. Okay. Any questions on identification before I move? Do you have their fax numbers? Who are they, Juan? If the ID and proof of address are different, should we use, I do have multiple fax numbers, but I do not have the list available right now. If the ID and proof of addresses are different, should we use, correct. If the identification says that they live at 1414 Mockingbird Lane, but their bill for their cell phone or their bank statement says it goes to 24 Hummingbird Lane, and they are residing at 24 Hummingbird Lane, you are not going to use a driver's license that says that they live at 1414 Mockingbird Lane. You are going to pick something else off of the list. Great question. Listen, man, I'm from foreign, okay? I'm Jamaican, so every now and then my twang come in and out, but I grew up in Brooklyn. So every now and then you might get something. All right. Look, but you are entertained. I love it. I love it. All right. So now that we've covered the identification, do we have any other questions, concerns, or comments before we load the client in? Is it true you give up some of your rights if you dispute online and upload the letters? So I want to clarify that if you are using Credit Karma to dispute online, yes. I upload my disputes directly to Experian. You do not give up your rights by uploading. So I want to clarify, uploading is not an issue. Disputing through Credit Karma is a problem. But if you are just doing regular uploads, then no, that's not an issue. Great questions, my love. All right. So we're gonna put in this customer here. All right. So while we are loading the customers, guys, I want to point out middle name is not necessary. My mama gave me two, and then I got married that last time in band camp. Don't worry about that. It didn't work out. My forever husband, he put a ring on it. Okay. I have his last name. So I have a bunch of names, y'all. Bunch of them. I got a bunch of them. I only use two. My first name and my last name, because my husband, you know, he married me and stuff. Now, I personally like May David. He does not like that I use May David. So on most of my documents, it just says David. But because I've had May for 43 years, I still use it in the social media streets. Okay. So with that being said, when your client has multiple names, you only need the first name and the last name. First name and the last name. That is it. That is all. Okay. You are going to go ahead and put the last name. Now, remember when I told you guys earlier, we cannot use rocktheboat@fakemail.com. We have to use a different email address. So, and I'm gonna show you guys something. Hold on. I used this email address. Hold on. Before. We're going to see if it'll let me use it. We'll see. Let's see. Sometimes the system will tell me no. But you want to make sure that all the information that you're putting in here is accurate as you're going through the board, like as you're going through the process. Okay. Now, when you're getting to the address, y'all, if they have a unit, a suite, a floor number, a level number, that's where you're going to put it in the actual street address. And then the city and state is going to go in its respected places. Okay. 02/11/1981. All right. Now, when you click this button here, it only works if you're in the pro. If you are not in the pro, it will not work at all. Okay? It will not work. So, I want to make sure that you guys are aware. It's not going to go anywhere. Nothing's going to happen. You have to have pro in order to send this. What this box does is it allows your clients to be able to go in and actually onboard themselves. So they can upload their own ID. They can put their own payment information in. They can do all of that stuff on the back end when you have the pro. Okay. Since we're working on the free, we're going to hit save. Now, you see here where it says an error message, this email is being used by another CRO. So on Monday when I was here, I used bigpimping@fakemail.com to set up my account. So it will not allow me to use that email address because it shows that I'm already another CRO or another owner has already used it. Let's say I wanted to do the one that I have here. The system is going to tell me the same thing when I go ahead and hit save. I'm not going to be able to use it because I used it as an owner of the account. So I can do Rock the Boat 2. Oh, wait. 2. There we go. And hit save. And now it will let me move forward. So I want to show you guys it will not allow you to use the same email address. Now it's time for the good stuff. We're going to go ahead and drag and drop. I'm a drag and dropper. If you guys are a clicker, totally cool. All this information is none of their business. They don't need to know anything. And if y'all look, this person has past due. So we're not going to definitely show none of that. Okay. The point is to get everything on 1 to 2 pieces of paper. So we're going to crop out everything they do not need. Okay. They need to know the date. They need to know the address. That is all they need as a proof of address. Okay. Driver's license. If your client has it on a big old piece of paper, crop it. Remember that everything is overhead, the paper you're using, the ink you're using, all of that, the envelopes. You want to get it as concise as possible because if you have a client, I had one client that I literally had 79 letters that had to go out for them. If those 79 letters also included 4 extra pages for the supporting documents, it was going to be terrible. So we don't want to do that, right? We want to crop and conserve as much as we can. In this particular case, I am going to upload the social security card. Again, just these 2 are required. This is optional. Now, what you can do, even if you do not have the pro, I want to go ahead and talk to you real quickly. This upload file is for Identity IQ and for My Score IQ. This option is for Smart Credit. You do not need either one of those. I want to point out if you're using any other credit monitoring service, guys, you will have to log into that credit monitoring service every 30 to 35 days, update the information, and then pull the information here. If you are using Credit Dyno, you do not have to do that at all. So what you would do is, let me grab this dummy client's account. You put the information in. If you are doing this for the first time, okay, this is the first time I'm loading the client in, I'm getting them done, you're going to click one-click import. When you come back in 35 days, every 35 days, you're going to click update. The update is going to refresh the report to order an updated report and then pull that updated information in. So when you load the client in the first time, it's one-click import. When you come back the following month, it's update. Okay, and the button will be green. You don't have to do anything. The system will pull it in. And come on now. Thank you for using Credit Dino. You have just earned 1 free attack credit. I didn't even have to do nothing. Free. Completely free. Okay? So I'm going to hit the dismiss button. Now I'm able to dispute. So I cannot attack until I tell the system, what are we going to be attacking? Okay? The system is going to automatically highlight everything that is creating havoc for my client's account. Okay? The other perk of having Credit Dino is that if your client has an account, all of the other credit monitoring softwares are only showing you the 2 years of the client's profile, the 2-year back. Credit Dino gives you the full 7 years if that person has 7 years back on the account being reported on the credit report. So you'd be able to see, when did this person lose their daggone mind? When was it? Because sometimes you'll look on the credit report and it will show that it was derogatory, but it wasn't derogatory in the last 24 months. It could have been derogatory 4 years ago, right? So you want to make sure that you have a full, robust conversation as it pertains to your customer. What information are we getting? How far back has this account gone? What information is showing up on the credit report? And you're able to see all of that information with Credit Dino. With Identity IQ, Smart Credit, Credit Hero, it only goes back the 24 months. Okay, so that means you wouldn't be able to see your client's full report until you get the report back the second time and they're getting deleted, updated, under investigation, whatever that is going to show up on that report that you're getting back. Okay, that's number one. I'm going to take you guys really quickly on kind of like how I use this in my consultation. So the first thing I talk about, I go through the summary. The summary is going to tell you, I'm going to go to a credit card, so it's a little bit easier. All right. The summary is going to tell you when the account was open, how much do they owe, what's their highest balance, what's their payment amount, what's their credit limit, because that matters, y'all. Okay. Then you're going to click on the payment history. The payment history is going to tell you not just where they had a hiccup, but actually what the ratio is of their on-time payments. Payments is 35% of your overall score, which equates to 192.5 points roughly. If your client is not paying on time every single month, they are automatically leaving points on the table. Okay? 192.5 points is the max you can earn. That's an A in that area. I want to point out, they can't overpay to get an A+. Okay, that's it. It's 192.5. That's all they getting. Okay. Now, when you click on this account health button, it tells you what is their utilization for that particular account. Now, I like to give little tips and tricks and hacks for my clients. I'm going to drop 2 of them for you guys right now. Number 1, if my client is using more than 30%, please understand that the utilization is 30% of the score, which equates to roughly 165 points. The more that they use, the less of the points they're getting. If you're wanting to be in the 700 club, you need to be at 20% or lower. If you're wanting to be in the 800 club, in this area specifically, you're wanting to be at 10% or lower. Okay? So if my client is above 90%, the goal is for us to reduce the debt overall by 10% every single month. That is the goal. That's all I'm trying to do. Anywhere from 5 to 10% will make a massive difference on the back end. Okay. Number 2, I teach them paying on the statement date and not the due date. The statement date is when I'm being tattletoled on to the credit bureau. The due date is what is the latest possible day I can pay without a late fee being assessed. The statement date is way more important. So for instance, this client has a $2,956 balance. If her statement was about to close on the 13th, I would tell her, if you have the $2,956 in your bank account, take that $2,956 or however much you can, drop it on this card, wait until the 15th, go ahead and use the card again. Okay? You can then use all the card if you want to, as long as you have the ability to pay it off by the statement date. Okay? Putting it on automatic payment is not going to solve the problem if their utilization is still out of sequence. If the utilization is still out of sequence, it's not going to change the pendulum at all. You are going to help them from not being late anymore, which is great. But if we're talking about getting them into the 700 and 800 club, the statement date is what's going to make or break them. What is their outstanding debt? And how are you speaking to that to help them leverage it? I like to let people know, I got credit cards. I swipe them. I sure do. I swipe them. And when I say I swipe them, it is because I use my cards. I have cashback rewards. I'm flying out to InvestFest in a month or so. When I go to InvestFest, right, I'm going to be using my flyer miles. Those are things I use my credit card. But what I do is make sure that I pay it down to the lowest possible amount I can, so that when my numbers are pulled, because your credit number, your credit score is not generated until your numbers are pulled in that real time. So today it could be 700, but if my statement closes in 3 days and my utilization goes from being 20% to being 90%, my score is going to drop 3 days from now. And if someone goes to pull my credit report 3 days from now, that drop is going to be there, and I'm not going to get approved for something, right? Because my utilization is high and because my scores have dropped. They got to pay it all or transfer it to a 0% card if possible, and yes, pay it down below 10%. Okay, Juan over here talking. Come on, Juan, with his braids, with good braids. Come on, Juan. Okay, so that's one of the perks that you also get with using Credit Dino. When it comes to the system, however, remember when I was telling you guys, if you have letters that you use, if you have code and verbiage that you like, you can go ahead and actually create your own letters if you have the sequence, so that whenever you have a late payment, CBI 37, you can actually save it. So you can have your letters here, you can actually click save, and you can actually label the letters and make your own folder. So every time you come in, if you have a late payment letter or if you have a charge off letter that's worked, you'll be able to select that information. You can literally just hit use template, and then the letter will be generated when you're going to do your rounds. If you don't want to do it, you just hit remove. You don't have to worry about it at all. Okay. This icon here, guys, originally came up because when the system was originally created, there was not a late payment verbiage letter. We now have a late payment verbiage letter. So if you have a late payment for an open and active account, you can utilize it, and the system will automatically draft a late payment verbiage because it's going to read what the error is for that one particular profile. Okay. Now, the system is only going to pull negative accounts. It is never going to pull anything outside of public records or negative accounts at this moment. You have to go in and pull any inquiries that are impacting your clients. The reason being, sometimes the inquiries can be attached to an open and active line of credit or a credit card. If you do that and you dispute it, you run the risk of potentially having that account closed. We are here to do no harm. So you want to make sure that you're checking the information. If you're using a Windows-based computer, you can go ahead and do Control F. If you're using a Mac, you do Command F. You put the information in for the actual creditor, copy, paste, boop. And then it will show you throughout the account where that account stands for your client. If it's showing as open, we're not touching it. We're leaving it alone. If it's showing as closed, if it is a auto, if it is a mortgage, I have no problem with disputing mortgages because they're not coming to get the house. I have no problems disputing the auto because they're not coming to get the car. Okay. But it is going to be problematic if you are not going to make sure that the account is not attached to an open and active credit card. Okay. So you would search the profile. You can search the full thing. You can search it by half. Hang on one second. And this doesn't come up, so I will check this. So you would check all the inquiries that apply to your client and then hit Save Filter. Save Filter will then take you into the system where you can go ahead and attack, which is selecting the letter that applies. The first round of letters is going to be the Punch of Fury, is the letter name. Supreme Boosted is the attack variation. If you have the Pro, you'd be checking the box for creditors, and then you're also sending letters to the other credit reporting agencies. You would simply select Start Round. When you're asking about the letters, this is the breakdown of the letter information. So the Punch of Fury includes, it says creates a letter for each. So you get a letter for personal information, a letter for inquiries, and a letter for everything else. If you choose the Pinwheel, it's 7 accounts, 7 negative items will be appeared on that letter, and up to 10 inquiries can appear on that letter. So if your client has 20 inquiries, this system, if you use Pinwheel, would generate 2 letters for your particular client. Okay. Once you select the letter type for round 1, you're going to do handwritten, and it's also Supreme Boosted. You're going to hit Start. You're going to type confirm, and then you're going to select Start. The system, because I had the credit, is going to automatically credit me my attack. I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to do anything. Now, because I don't have any money in the system, I cannot go in and generate any stall letters because I don't have at least $1 in the bank. So let me show you. I'm going to select all the stall letters that are here. I'm going to hit Start Round, and the system's going to tell me, womp, 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 go to bed. See, it's going to say I don't have any money. But as long as you have at least $1 in that account, it will generate the stall letters for you. Now, the system is registering that this has been generated, but that you have downloaded the letters. You have to click download all so it can come and be downloaded into your system. You print it out and you mail it. If you do not want to mail it yourself, you're going to click mail them out. And this is the information that Mr. David was looking for. So for the first sheet of paper, it's $1.44. Additional pages are at 34 cents a page. So you can basically add that up. If you have over 6 pages, there's then an additional fee to that as well. So when you are going through the system and you're telling the system to mail the letters for you, this is what it's going to cost you, $23.92 if you're doing double-sided. The system is saying it's supposed to be single-sided, so it's going to cost you $27.27. So you would exit the program or exit this, add the money, come back to the client, and then select mail out for the letters to go out for you. Okay. It does not need to be colored. If you wanted to go from first class and you decide you want to do certified mail, this is what's going to cost you for certified mail. Did that help, David?
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure, my love. So this is kind of what the baseline is looking for. So you can see what it's going to cost before you generate it. Okay. If you are like me, I personally mail out because most of my clients are in Texas. Okay. Well, all of my clients are in Texas. I think I have like 2 that are not. But when you are looking at the software, I like to geotag. They're in my zip code. So that is why I personally mail. Plus, I do a power of attorney. So because I include a power of attorney in my dispute letters to the credit bureau, I personally mail out my credit bureau letters. Now, The letters that are going to go to the secondary bureau would come in or to the other credit reporting agencies would actually show up in another tab over here. So I will let the system mail out those letters for the other credit reporting agencies, especially if I'm traveling, child, I let the system mail everything out. But locally, when it comes to the secondary agencies or the other credit reporting agencies, LexisNexis, LCI, so on and so forth, I will let the system mail that out for me because it's just easier for me. I will take care of the letters that are going out to the credit bureau. Now, when you guys are looking here, you're saying, how do I send letters to the creditors? There's a box right here that says generate letters to creditors. So what would end up happening in theory is you'd have a box here for attack. You'd have a box here for creditor if you guys are on the pro. And then when you come back in to do the static letters, you'll have a box here for static letters. I can, and I do oftentimes, let the system mail the letters out for me for the creditors as well as for the secondary bureau. Any questions on what I've covered so far? Hey, Miss Robin.
Hi. Can we go into, okay, because I'm new, and can we go into, I guess, the training videos and get the information that you're talking about? Because I understand somewhat, but
absolutely.
More.
Yeah, in the training videos, it breaks down the tabs. So if you click on training, if you click on training, there are videos that it goes through the full training that we go to start to finish, or you can break it up if you need to digest it in chunks. Like if you want to only talk about loading the client in, if you want to only talk about uploading the documents, it goes through all of that in the training as well.
Okay. And the videos that you do you do this? Are you on all the time, or are there different
I'm here
people?
Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Not this Thursday, but normally if it's not a holiday or I don't have an event, I'm normally here Thursdays for the pro.
Okay. And are these videos recorded or no?
It is located on Dispute Panda at Yahoo. I mean, no, Lord, I don't say Yahoo. Dispute Panda on YouTube, my love. The videos are there. If you are already in the community, the replay is also in the community until we change platforms.
Oh, okay. So they're getting ready to change platforms?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So yeah, we are on YouTube. I'm live, loud, and in color, child, over there in the YouTube Central. Okay. And sometimes on my platform, I will go ahead and put like different sits because I do understand that some of the information, because it's a long night, sometimes you have to digest it in chunks. So I do like to drop that information as well. But you can watch the replay anytime on YouTube. Just type in Dispute Panda, honey. I'm out there. My big face and all 27 different hair pieces.
And I heard you say you're coming to InvestFest. Are you going to have a booth?
I am not going to have a booth, honey. I'm going to have fun. Okay. I'm coming there to mix, mingle, learn, connect. Yeah, I'm not doing a booth this year. Actually, my bestie was talking about doing a booth and I was like, go ahead, girl. I'll be your +1. But they weren't giving a VIP ticket. So she decided not to do a booth.
Oh.
So we'll see. But if you're coming, I'm going to see you, girl. I think I might have this hair. But just focus on the cheeks. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Any other questions, guys? All right. And the history tab shows you the history. It shows you the letters. The system says it's downloaded because I did not mail it out. Okay. You can see the reports. You can see the scores. When you have the pro, there's another option right here that says updates once you've updated the client's report, and you'll be able to see what the changes have been month to month. And you can actually use that as well as a downloadable screen share. The invoice tab is for you to see any invoices, and the notes tab is where you can put any notes. So if you did like a method of validation letter, if you did a bankruptcy court letter, you can put that in the notes so that you can track what you did for the client. If you are wanting to I want to show you guys the letters. Once you click on letters, if the system would have mailed it out for you, it would give you an estimated date of mail. It would give you the method that it was sent. It tells you if it's double-sided, it will be selected for you. If the system is mailing it out, it will go ahead and give you the tracking number. If it's certified, but you will always get a letter ID. Okay. If it's in color, this shows in color because it'd be extra because this is fancy like me. But this system will say downloaded. So please remember, guys, to actually download the letters because the system is assuming that you have downloaded the letters. So make sure that you click the download all and print out the letters. Chelsea said InvestFest, when, where, how much? Tickets are $250. It is August 23rd, 24th. I'm going to be it's in Atlanta. I'm going to be there the 24th through the 26th, 23rd through the 26th. But I think it's the 24th to the 25th. Okay. But just type in investfest.com to get the info. What you got for me, Juan?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so is smart credit, can we still use that? Because the last time I tried to upload it, I had problems with it. So I don't know if no, we're done. Out.
So I sent a message to them like, hey, this is going on week so and so. Like, can you give me the tea? What's the source? What's the rod? They were like, yeah, they changed the coding. So previously Smart Credit had gone to like a JSON coding, and because it was originally HTML, then they went to a JSON and they gave us a verbiage to use HTML to import the file again. And then all of a sudden, like within the last 3 weeks or so, it hasn't been working.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna file a dispute with Panda. No,
What?
no, they're
Get
gonna
off my
kick me.
phone, Juan. Juan trying to get money from
They're
everybody.
they're gonna ban me.
I'm finna kick you out right now. That's
No,
it. Juan
no,
is
no. I just want
done.
to know. I was curious though. I was curious.
Juan is done. He's acting up. Ever since he got them braids, y'all. Juan don't know how to act ever since he got them braids. It's the fresh braids that's doing it to Juan. Any other questions, guys? I ain't got no questions. I answered everything. Any questions, concerns, or comments, guys? Let me know. If not, this has been a wonderful 2-hour and 15-minute ride. I appreciate y'all coming. I really do. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, please let me know. What is the potential of a negative report? What do you mean, my love? Can you elaborate, Connie?
Well, my credit report is in red, potentially negative when I'm making payments. When you're making payments on your account, I'm caught up on my account, but it's still showing potentially negative.
Which credit monitoring service are you using?
I'm just Equifax. I'm just going Equifax. You know,
okay. So it's a negative report because you were behind.
But I'm already cut off. And it's still
That's correct, but you were behind. So unless you are able to remove the late payments that are showing there, a goodwill letter, or use the late payment verbiage that's here, it's still going to report that way because of the fact you were behind previously.
Before, I was behind before.
Correct. So the potential for you to fall behind again is there based on their track record.
Oh, Ruby.
Yeah. You have to remember that your credit report.
I feel like I'm pulling tooth trying to catch up and it's still showing bad. I'm like,
well, it's not showing bad. You have to remember you were bad. You were naughty, right? So that information is there unless you get the naughty removed, updated. If there's some way that you can remove that or update it, it's going to impact you. Now, what's going to happen? And I want to shift the thought in the process. Your late payment only impacts you for a 24-month window. So when the 24 months from the last time you were late. So for instance, you were late 30 days, you were late 60 days. Let's say you went late 90 days. You then got caught up. That 90th day, you have 2 years from that time period for you to earn back the points that you've lost and for you to no longer be deemed that you're going to go back to that behavior. They're not going to judge you anymore or as harshly because you've now showed a consistent pattern that you are now able to pay on time again.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know. I'm like, well, I'm catching up. I've been paying for the last 3-4 months on time. Why is it still saying potentially?
You have 24 months, babe. Unless you do a goodwill letter or unless you're able to get that removed, you have a 24-month window.
So you show how to write a goodwill letter in the program?
The goodwill letter, and let me show you guys where it's at. If you go to start new round and you go to static letters, and if you scroll down, did I pass it? Right here, goodwill. You click original creditor, and you're going to put the creditor's information in there.
On Dispute Panda, I can get that too in the free one.
We're on a free one right now, my love.
Okay, okay.
Yep. You are good to go. It can harm you in funding. But for transparency, sometimes you can do an explanation depending on where, like, what market or what you're using, right? The subprime market is going to be different than the traditional market. I have gotten people funding, not like horrible funding, with late payment showing up. But again, it depends on factors. How much is that person's revenue? What does their revenue looks like? What does their debt to income ratio looks like? All of that is going to play a factor in it as well.
Okay. Well, I gotta do some more research. I gotta stay on this Panda thing. I'm learning a whole lot. I can stay on it. Just like it could at least make me sound better. I'm making payments on time. I'm making extra payments. Come on, really?
So if we're talking about a credit card, okay, so if we're talking about an auto loan, the extra payments are going to help you. If we're talking about installments, auto, mortgage, anything that's an installment payment, those extra payments are going to help you because it's going to allow you to pay more to your principal than to your interest. If we're talking credit cards, I'm going to tell you personally, you need to look at your statement date. When you're looking at your statement date, that's when you want to dump your payment. Is 2 to 3 days before your statement's about to close, because that's when it's going to shift the narrative when it's being reported to the credit bureau. So now your debt amount, how much is your outstanding debt, is going to be lower. That's it.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's how you want to navigate it. Juan, thank you so much for pulling up the club panel. I appreciate you dropping stuff hot fire in the chat. I hope you have a great remainder of your day. I just retired from a 35-year sales career. I'm going to build $1 million business, and you will, Chelsea. Will this system allow me to successfully handle 1,000+ clients at one time? And what is the average number of clients that are that a good rep can handle at one time? That is a great question. The system will support up to 1,000. There's not a cap on it. I think that it depends on the rep that you're using, and it depends on who's processing. So I have a specific team that does my disputing for me. They do my uploads for me. I have a different team that does the conversation, and it also depends on my disputing. So my disputing is different. There are different methods for my disputing depending on what the issue is. So I have one person that's dedicated for my bankruptcy clients, and I have another person that is dedicated for just like my general dispute flow. Like, everyone has general knowledge, but there's certain people in my book of business that have specialty. Great question. But you'd have to see what your rep is doing. Every rep is different. Some people can handle 100, because remember, they're only touching that file once every 35 days. So it depends on what day, right, they're working that file. So like for me, I'm a 9 to 5 coach. So I do have an investor for my business, right? And for me, I have right now, I have like 185 clients because I just graduated a couple. Yeah. And I do outsourcing. And I want to say I have 3 companies that I currently outsource for. However, I do have a VA staff, so they do a lot of my disputing. So I'm not necessarily doing the disputing part. I'm doing the networking connections to kind of get people in, and I'm coaching in this room and in my mentorship program, right? So you can maneuver, and once you build a solid plan of action, and if you want to be niche specific, like, hey, I'm only going to cater to people in the 35 or older who are looking to get a house, who make X amount of money. So now you're cultivating your content information towards that, right? You're able to get that momentum. Great question. What does it mean to graduate a client? That they no longer in the program because they've reached their financial goal? Whether it is we secure the house, we secure the car, their numbers where they want it to be, their file is looking the way that they need to, they're able to graduate the program. And I give them a t-shirt, child. Okay. I give them a good little gift card, be like, thank you. And I always tell them that they can always refer people to me and they get to make drip money by doing so. Okay, I'm going to drop my info in the chat. If anyone has a question, concern, or comment, y'all can definitely hit me up. Just put Dispute Panda in the subject line. I am going to be out of the office tomorrow and Friday. So if anyone emails me, please give me grace. I will not be able to reply back till Saturday or Sunday. More than likely Sunday, because I'm probably going to be recuperating on Saturday. For those of you guys that are in my mentorship, y'all better be ready on Sunday. I ain't playing. Any other questions, concerns, or comments before I let you guys go for the rest of the night? Nope, no questions. All right. Well, thank you guys for being so awesome. And David, you need me?
No, Raquel, thank you so much.
All right, leave the room open because I know that Loyalty had a question. So I wanted to go ahead and answer that for her, okay?
I'm gonna make you a host and then I'm going to go.
You are the best thing since sliced bread.
David, stop trying to leave us all the time.
You know, David be trying to leave Club Panda all the time.
He be out fast. He be like, bye.
Gone. And did you see how he shut me out the room the other day? I was like, David, I done said I'm gonna stay. David was like, and I'm out, Detroit. I'm out.
Thank you, Raquel. I see